Whoa, it's the Illusion reporting from somewhere on Spaceship Earth. I'm up at the headquarters on Rainbow Mountain. So yeah, that was it. That's the big news I've been holding out on. It's been pretty radical. That's why I haven't been making a lot of videos and kind of checking in, because I couldn't even explain half of what's going on in my reality. But yeah, it's super cool, man. Gonna be a dad. Who would have figured? But it's interesting because it's like, I got the minigram. She's 9, so I've had to like kind of cut my teeth on being a mentor to another human being, and that's been its own magical journey. As you can see, I got a little bit of a black eye here from surfing last week. Board caught me in the face. So just to clear that up. So yeah, the whole world has changed in the Illusion's dream, and I can say I'm super stoked about it. When I found out when the hologram told me we were going to have a child, it was weird. I wasn't. It didn't shock me. It didn't bum me. It like triggered off this sort of, kind of like primal instinct. Like I realized early on that like it's the one thing in my reality that like I'm totally genetically wired for. Like, right? Raising a child, being a caveman, like basic caveman instincts. Procreate, get food and shelter, raise child. So like when I found out it, like I'm like, okay, totally rad. Like there hasn't been a hesitant moment about the whole thing. Like, yeah, it's also made me at the same time, I attached to the dream pretty radically. Like that's my new piece of art I'm working on right now. And kind of the first wave of things was just the attachment to the 3D landscape. I started worrying a lot about like finances and money, because as a carpenter, man, it's feast or famine. I've been on a good job the last 7 months, but we're literally like 2 weeks till we're done, and who knows. So there's that whole weird thing. But right, if I get into what's going on right now, right this very second, everything's fine, right? It's only when I future trip and start tripping about the future that I get worried. So I got super like worried and edgy, not about having a kid, but just how I'm going to pull it all off, right? And then I have to trust in God, source energy, my higher power to like guide me, right? Like, dude, I started this YouTube journey in a trailer with one electrical cord, right? I live up on the Rainbow Mountain, a place I've always dreamed of living. I'm with the girl that I've known for a long time, that I've always loved. Living with her and her daughter, and we've totally bonded as like a team, and now we're having baby Owl, and there's a whole story why we're going to name the baby Owl. Owl, it's the magic animal, right? And so yeah, there was a whole moment of being like the realization of being the provider, if you will. Like, yeah, the buck stops with me all of a sudden. And at the same time, I've always been really, active, involved. It really made me pay more attention to the condition of Spaceship Earth, because now I'm bringing in a little human being. And yeah, there's no more excuses. Like, it's for real. Like a lot of my involvement on like, defending the environment or being politically aware has been like basically theoretical. But now it's actually practical, in the sense of like, I'm more invested in the outcome of the daily struggle than I've ever been before. Up until recently, a year ago, I was just a solo guy with a skateboard and a surfboard, just minding my own business, doing my thing, totally divested from the system. And now it's like, yeah, like there's all sorts of things, but I don't have to fully jump into the system. Like we haven't gotten a TV or plugged the TV in or anything like that. But I mean, there's a certain aspect of like, I had to go to the doctor to check on the baby, right? And I don't buy into doctors, man. I think they're like witch doctors, like voodoo, like some weird stuff going on in those buildings. Like, I'm not sure about it, but like the hologram, she's not going to go without a doctor, right? And it's like, it's her temple that the baby's growing in. So if she wants to go to a doctor and get ultrasounds and stuff, like, well, yeah, you got to roll with that. Like we ought to talk early on. She's like, you can't be getting all political about like doctor visits and stuff, because she knows I have huge lines in the sand about that kind of stuff. But at the same time, the hologram's totally about like, organic food and non-GMO and all that, so on that same level, like, I've had to like change that even more, like ratchet up that whole system even more. And, it definitely costs more, like, right? But there is no money in the whole theory because it's all just a dream and like whatever. So like, it's just kind of just keep paddling. My buddy has just had his second baby. It's like a month old now. And he's like, you just got to keep paddling. Just keep paddling. Don't even like, just keep paddling, bro. Don't even look around. Be in the now. Be in the moment and just keep paddling. So it's been pretty radical on that whole sense. And the most radical part, like in a weird way, was just, I don't know, I have a pretty open forum here with my life. And, the hologram and the minigram are super supportive of like this whole thing. They're not shy of it, but I've up till this point kind of kept them over there. But, now they're like, let's do the whole thing. Like, all right, because I get so much positive emails and letters and stuff that like, yeah, if anyone can pull it off, if I can pull it off, anyone can pull it off, man. I'm the least likely candidate to like be pulling this whole high frequency thing off on a certain level. Like, I have to overcome the dark side of my mind constantly. I'm always at war with myself. But at the same time, like, I totally believe in the beautiful outcome. I have total faith in humanity and Spaceship Earth and us pulling it all together. I'm a total optimist, but I am a realist. I do realize that it is full of like pitfalls and ridiculousness. Oh wait, on just fully, because I'm that guy right now. Check out the air plants, right? Talk about optimism. This one's about to have two beautiful flowers. Look at how much they've grown. My air plants are fully high frequency living. It's pretty spectacular. And that's what I mean, right? You saw the first video when I was like, I don't know, can I pull it off? Yeah, I can pull off air plants. I can pull off a little human being too, right? It's the same theory basically. Water them, nurture them, love them, feed them. Make sure they're happy, they get enough sunlight, they don't get too cold. Appreciate them for what they are. So, yeah, it's been radical, man, because everything changed. Like, one day I'm just cruising along in life, and the next day, I'm going to be a father. Radical, right? So radical, man. It's pretty awe-inspiring. And yeah, so here we are. We're on the journey. It hasn't stopped anything. Actually, I'm surfing more, skating more. Got the minigram, a skateboard for Christmas, all dialed in. She wants to skate. Got her fresh pair of Vans. We're going to go rock and roll and grind the world, man. And, it's all positive. It really is just all this positive vibe. It's overwhelming. At the same time, it's this crazy trip going on in your mind. Like, all sorts of thoughts, man. It's heavy. And then, all right, and then this is the deal. I realized that if I truly believe in the conspiracy. The only way to beat them at their deal is to bring other souls in from the astral plane, fully educate them with the power of metaphysics and thinking and the ability to like extrapolate data and all the natural sequence, the Fibonacci sequence, the pineal gland, healthy eating, the whole thing. Raise this new little human to go into the future, right? Because I firmly believe that there's just seems to be souls just jumping in everywhere. Like almost everyone I know seems to be having a baby all of a sudden. And we're older, man. I'm 45 having a little sprout, man. So there just seems to be this thing of like the revolution. I used to think that it was about not having a kid. Like, don't bring up a kid in the world and the whole thing, and like, what are you doing? And like, oh, the world's crazy. But I go, if I truly believe in everything I've ever talked about in these videos and the high frequency tribe, then it is about bringing another human being into the thing and totally believing in the ability to manifest positive energy, man. Like that's what's really gone on here is the overwhelming truth that it's time to, the rubber's meeting the road, man. Like everything I've been practicing for years, all the existential journey I've been on the last 4 years, especially on YouTube, has prepared me for the next chapter of the adventure is to like bring this human being into the world with positive energy, you know, because if I'd done this 10 years ago, I was still in the darkness, man. I was still asleep. I was still angry and frustrated and negged out. Like, me and the hologram have been through the darkness. We've gotten through the darkness and made it past the light that could have either been a train or salvation. It wasn't a train. It didn't run us over in the tunnel. It was like salvation, right? And so here we are. We're living the dream, right? So we brought our energies together. We're bringing in a new high frequency tribe member onto Spaceship Earth, and yeah, there is no more time to doubt any of it. Yeah, we are about to, like, humanity is about to go through its own birthing right now. Like, everything's going on. I mean, I don't even check out data and information anymore, but it just comes to me and I'm like, wow, there's some heavy stuff going on out there on Spaceship Earth right now. So we as human beings that are the high frequency tribe have an even greater responsibility now. Like, I've like realized how radical my responsibility is. It's not about stopping being who I am. It's about like expanding who I am. This is the great expansion. Like I think there's certain people that think having a kid's all about life's over. I go, like, to me, I just saw it, like, all of a sudden I'm realizing, like, life just began. Like, now, like, everything I'm into and everything I'm about, like, there's, like, a little sponge, man. So it's really, like, super important for me to, like, dial in my frequencies, get my knobs all tuned up and make sure they go to 11, right? My knobs go to 11. Because it's one more higher than 10. Anyway, this is The Illusion, super fired up on Spaceship Earth. Gonna start making videos regularly, more skating, surfing, and the hologram's gonna be chiming in more about like what's going on with being pregnant, man. For all you gals out there, she's high frequency mama bear. Yeah, she's gnarly. She's gnarly. You really realize how radical women are when you begin this whole journey of like watching them have a baby inside of them, man. Like that's dudes don't do that. Only women can do that, right? Like women are powerful entities, man, and it's awesome to be next to the hologram and see it going down or going up or going out. It's going out. It's growing. It's pretty cool, man. Anyway, I got some cool footage, man, from the last couple months. So I'll be putting that up too. And all right, let's let's buckle up because the roller coaster is just about to get super exciting. Anyway, it's The Illusion. Fired up.